Hey, you found me. Hello, everybody. I hope you found me. If you didn't, find me. Here we go. This is going to be a great show. This is Sports Stories with Denny Lennon. That's me. And this is Facebook Live. And today we have the show that's going to break the internet. You know why? We got Dr. Roger Goudy, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Amateur Athletic Union. You know what else? We got the three-time NCAA champion. I call her the greatest collegiate player ever in volleyball, Kathryn Plummer. We got some other guests too. Before we start the show, though, let's all remember we may not be in the ballparks getting that opportunity to see all of the ball players in Major League Baseball with the number 42 on their back. Today is Jackie Robinson Day. And although we're not there, we certainly do recognize the great achievement that he had, that he endured, and he allowed all of us to make it a better league and a better country. So way to go, 42. And I got an idea. Let's start the show. I'm a Venice, California-born, Los Angeles-based sports fan. One that has played, coached, announced, and promoted sports my whole life. My love affair with sports started in my own backyard and has led me to this podcast. Thanks to the support of the Amateur Athletic Union in East Bay, I'm excited to bring you Sports Stories with Denny Lennon. Must be 5 o'clock. Time for our first guest. Hey, our first guest is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Amateur Athletic Union, a membership of some 700,000 plus. So he oversees that. You know what else? He's the president of both Americas, North and South America for what's called the ISF. That's the World Championships of High School Sports. He's also a former superintendent of 2 school districts, Sullivan and Madison. And I could just keep going, but I'm getting tired of all this titles, so it's time to bring him in. Where are you at, Raj?
Well, right now I'm sequestered here in beautiful Cocoa Beach, Florida.
All right.
And you notice I'm on this high price set. This is Mrs. Goudy's story time set. My wife is a preschool principal in Orange schools in Ohio, and she broadcasts live from here daily with all of her teachers to her kids because their kids are currently not in school. So I got to borrow the set, but I can only use it for an hour, and then I'm thrown out of here.
Okay. That makes her quite equipped to handle you, Raj. Yep. Hey,
I want to ask you one thing before we get started, though. I had the Gilberts from Santa Monica delivered me pizza. I think it might have been Kip Lennon's pizza. They delivered here by mistake today.
Yes.
So Kip didn't get his. I got my Gilberts from Santa Monica pizza.
That lets me know that you're watching the show. I love it, Goudy. Oh, Raj. Hey, Raj, we got, we're all doing what we can. We're all faced with something significant with this coronavirus. But, one of the things I was going to say was I really liked the social media and the message you had on your AAU channels on that, the Instagram TV, I think you went with. It was a great message. And it's just these are tough times.
Yeah, they are, but I'm very optimistic, Denny, because first of all, I have to say we have a wonderful staff, and we have a lot of great support people like yourself out there, 150,000 volunteers around the country that work tirelessly for the benefit of athletes. So in that regard, we're very blessed. So we've been preparing tirelessly here to hit the ground running whenever we get the go to go ahead. We're getting close to that date. I sent out a message about a week ago, a message of hope, because I really see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I see where we're going to be back running events for kids again all across this great nation. And we're quietly working on things behind the scenes so that when we do get back into business, that it's safe for everybody involved. We certainly wouldn't want to do anything that jeopardizes the athlete's health, the parents' health, the coach's health, spectators, or anybody else. And that's going to be our utmost concern, is the safety of everyone involved. But by the same token, I think people are, including myself, are getting tired of sitting at home. And I think people are looking for things to do. And I think if we're cautious enough and we follow the precautions set by the CDC, and then go beyond that. And that's what our plan is. I talked with Disney at length today, our partner, and I talked with our sponsors and different vendors that are involved with us. And we plan on going way beyond the minimum standards when we do come back, because people are going to be nervous. People are nervous about traveling. They're nervous about being around other people. But I think we have enough things in place that we'll be rolling out later this week that'll assure people that their safety is going to be our utmost importance.
So break it down a little bit for us, because not everybody knows how many sport managers you have out there, how many sports, and there's a lot of moving parts that you got to consider.
Yeah, there is. We have roughly 41 sports, and I say roughly because we're always adding one or two, and when I say 41, we end up having 42. We just added, I believe, chess to our menu, but we have 41 different sports. The largest sport is, believe it or not, volleyball.
Yep.
For years, we've been around, as you know, Denny, since 1888. And for a long time, boys basketball was our largest sport. Well, 2 years ago, volleyball passed boys basketball. And now volleyball is the largest sport in the AAU. Right. And it continues to grow. It just astounds me how much we're growing. And the beauty of this is not only it's us that's growing, but everybody involved in volleyball is growing. So I think it's good for the country. It's good for everything involved. And other sports are growing as well. I keep hearing these stories, prior to this coronavirus, of all these organizations losing memberships. We're doing pretty good. Up until 3-4 weeks ago, we were well ahead of our pace from a record year last year. So we were moving along well. Go on.
Oh, sorry, Rich. But I was thinking, even when I say moving parts, you not only have different sports that have different calendars, but you got different parts of the country that may be rolling out sooner out of, either national considerations or local considerations. And do you foresee that all of the AAU will come out at the same time, or do you see, just kind of looking at each area individually, or?
We're actually, that's a very good question. We're looking at both. We're looking at if the opportunity exists for us to roll everything out at once, that we're going to be ready to go. And our staff is working daily with volunteers from around the country in our 56 districts. They're working daily with those folks to be ready to hit the ground running quality events that are safe for all the athletes. But it's looking more and more like we'll probably be doing different parts of the country first, because there's still some targeted areas that are pretty strongly hit. And we're looking at getting some of our big national events. As you know, volleyball, we run the world's largest volleyball tournament down here in Orlando. Last year, we had 2,805 teams, about 45,000 athletes, about 10,000 coaches, and about 125,000 spectators.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to go to that magnitude or be able to go to that magnitude. So we're looking at what could that look like and still be effective, where the kids have a great experience, families that come. What are we going to do? Because we have to limit access to some degree. We're looking at how we may have to limit that and how we ensure the safety of everybody. Yeah. So there's a lot of moving parts, as you said. Along with 41 sport committees, we have 56 different districts across the country, and we've truly become a global organization. We've been all over the world.
There's a couple of questions that roll in. One was about extending the insurance program, and if you've looked at that, and then the other, of course, had to do with, it was like an update on AAU insurance, and then the other was about the nationals for indoor girls, which I think you just addressed.
Yeah, the insurance program, we've been in contact with our carrier, and it's looking pretty good that we're going to be able to do that. Obviously, we want to get the year going. It's in everybody's best interest to have activity, because that's what we do. We run events. And without running events, nobody's doing anything. We have a lot of people working at home with nothing to service. So I think I could rest assured to tell you that we're going to be able to extend it. I just don't know how far into the next year. Our year ends on the 30th of August, and September 1st starts our new year. So it's looking like we'll probably roll that 1 or 2 months into the upcoming year that if you buy a $14 AAU card, it'd be good for those additional 2 months.
So I know you've been keeping everybody updated, periodically. What's the next update? And in particular, we're getting a lot of people rolling in asking questions like, when do you think you might, have a definitive update on the indoor nationals for volleyball?
Well, currently our suspension of activities, and when I say suspension of activities, we suspended all of what we call licensed events. Some people call them sanctioned events. So any event that's sanctioned or licensed by the AAU was suspended initially, I believe, till the first week in April. Then we extended that to mid-April, and a week ago we extended that to the end of April. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think we're going to be able to get something going, hopefully in May. Something. I don't know what that something is or where it's at yet, but that's kind of the logistics we're working on right now. But it's looking better every day. I think medical professionals are doing a wonderful job out there. I mean, God bless those people, the long hours they're working and how hard they're working with these people and putting their own lives in danger. But we are working closely with them. We're consulting every day with the CDC, Center for Disease Control. We're consulting every day with government officials, and we're trying to stay in the loop. Like I said, I had a call today with Disney and working with them. We're working with the county officials here. But we want to make sure we're all on the same page when we roll this out.
Exactly. I'm seeing the scroll that comes in, they ask questions, and whether it's about, the big basketball tournament that's coming up in Reno, or whether it might be JO track, I would just imagine, right now you're going to give us the information you have right now, but there's no, speculating can only lead to confusion.
Well, the big basketball event in Reno, I was on a phone today with Matt Williams, who runs that big basketball tournament. And I've talked with Mike Kilpack in the last week and the folks that are directly involved in that. And I think everybody involved would love to see that going. Yeah. When the date of that is not yet determined. I think the city officials would like to see it going. So we're definitely trying to get some of the bigger events. And that, by the way, I believe is the world's largest basketball tournament, the one that's done in Reno.
Yeah, no doubt. AAU does it right, does it big. We know that. That's why, I really appreciate you being on today, because there's a lot of people that, just want whatever information, they can get after. I noticed too that, I mentioned too in the open that you're one of the, that you're the president in effect of the Americas for international. So South America and North America, right? And I bet you've been on plenty of calls on that level, and dealing with different countries can't be easy.
I have, I was asked to run for continental president in Agadir, Morocco, in Africa last August, I believe it was. And so I ran thinking I wasn't going to win. Well, I won, and now I'm continental president for North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean islands. I think it's 41 countries. That's for all high school sports. Because unlike this country where the high school CIF in California, OHSAA in Ohio, where we have high school federations, most of these countries go through ISF, because ISF is recognized by the International Olympic Committee. So this is just one more channel for our AAU athletes and people to participate in. And there's some fabulous programs. I went down and spoke in Brasilia, Brazil last year sometime, and they have a fabulous high school program. Doesn't go through a federation, it goes through ISF. And in Europe, this ISF is huge. So it's just another step for the kind of the maturity and growth of the AAU. I mean, we've been around for 132 years, and at one point in time, we were heavily into that movement. And then Congress started with the United States Olympic Committee, which was the right thing to do. Right. And we kind of focused more on that developmental athlete. Well, now we have athletes coming back to us that are high-level athletes too. And one of the young ladies you have coming on the show today, I believe Kathryn Plummer, played for Gino Grajeda on some AAU teams that went to, I want to say, Tahiti and some other Canada, and competed in several different countries when she was an AAU athlete.
Yeah, Gino doesn't let me go on those trips, but he brings me a jacket back, Raj. So at least I got that.
Well, and Gino, you notice the athletes he picks are like Kathryn Plummer, so he looks like a good coach when he goes. Right, yeah. I could be a good coach coaching Kathryn Plummer.
Yeah, he just stands up on the deck of the hotel. He looks and sees all the biggest. Yes.
He's not here to defend himself.
So, Raj, one of the other great institutions of our country, and I don't say that lightly, is the very prestigious AAU Sullivan Awards. It's been given out since 1930. It's an unbelievable list of athletes that have won the award. It's an incredible list of athletes that didn't win the award. And that said, I know there's some talk, people wondering. That was supposed to be in mid-April, of course, those ceremonies. But at this point, like everything else in our country, it's on hold. So can you update us on the plans for the Sullivan Award?
Well, first of all, a former winner is coming up on the show later, Kathryn Plummer, former winner. And watching tonight from their home in Fairport is Melissa Willis, our chairman of the Sullivan Award Committee, and her husband Turbo, that is our security for beach volleyball. So they're watching the show tonight, and we were talking right before I went on the air because we're looking at options, because we had all the voting, the first round and the second round of voting, and I know who the winner is, Melissa knows who the winner is, and nobody else knows who the winner is. But we want to announce the winner in an appropriate way. When Kathryn received the award, we had him at the New York Athletic Club, and we presented the award there, where Carl Lewis was the MC, and we did a really nice program. Well, obviously we can't go to New York right now, so we're looking at alternatives of how we could do justice to an award that's been around since 1930. I mean, Jesse Owens won this award, and Harrison Dillard. And, I mean, some big winners are Peyton Manning, Ezekiel Elliott just recently, Kathryn Plummer. I mean, we hadn't had any volleyball players win it in 85-year history. Then all of a sudden we had a girl from Wisconsin win it, the setter Lauren Carlini. Then 2 years later comes Kathryn Plummer. We've had 2 volleyball players down in the last 3 years. So I'm sure we'll get the word on that. And no matter how much you beg me, I won't let you announce it today. I'm going to make you take your time on announcing that award. Hey, Rob, will you get back after the break? We're going to take a quick break.Uld you join us in just a second? Would love to.
Good. We got to do a little self promotion.
Okay.
We're going to shoot it over to Venice right now. We're going to you can call it Studio 51. You know, it is Venice. We could call it Area 51, if you know what I mean. Hi, Marley.
Hi.
It's our producer, Marley, and you're here to fill us in a little bit on what's going on. Oh, yeah. I like our map technology. You'll notice that the track from where the 7428 studio where we are, you just go a little bit north, and then you cut in, Lynn, and boom, we're at the Rice household right in Venice Beach. Studio 51.
I love it.
Well, why don't you fill us in on what we got going on Sports Stories and Facebook Live this week?
I would love to. Hope you guys are all enjoying this episode that we have with Roger. Thank you so much for all of the information you're giving us. I'm going to wait for my little video to pop up right here. And I'll give you some information on what's coming up on our Facebook this coming up week. And thank you to Roger and everyone that's going to be on the show. We're really excited for you guys. Hope you're enjoying this episode. Make sure you tune in every day of the week as we bring you shows at 5 o'clock on our Facebook Live at 5. Tomorrow on our Facebook, you'll find episode 1 of 4 with renowned boxing announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. That's going to be exciting. On Friday, we have Ray Boom Boom Mancini. He held the lightweight title from 82 to 84, and we're excited to talk to him about his career. One of my favorite guests that we interviewed, Chris Geeter McGee, will be on the show. He's the Lakers studio host for Sportsnet, so I'm excited to have him. We also have Shay Cotton. He's going to be on our FBL5. He's the subject of a fascinating documentary, Man-Child. And lastly, Jimmy Lennon Jr. is going to come on the show to promote his 4-part podcast that drops on YouTube tomorrow. So make sure you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel and turn on those reminders so you can be notified of when we post a video, which is daily. And I can't wait to share all these awesome stories and podcasts that we have lined up for you because we're doing a lot of hard work here. So stay tuned and keep following the show. Keep moving us forward. There's my little office, guys, in my Studio 51.
Everyone, Marley here. I just wanted to come in and tell you about our social media and make sure you're following us. If you want to email the show with any cool or interesting stories, you can email us at info@sportsstoriespodcast.com. Denny's Twitter is @sportsstoriesdl. You can go tweet at him. Our Instagram, you can go find us there. We post daily. It's Sports Stories Podcast. Next is our Facebook. Facebook is where we put our live shows every day. You can go there, facebook.com/sportsstoriespodcast. Next is our YouTube. Make sure you're going and subscribing to our YouTube channels. This is where we house all of our Thursday podcasts as well as all of our Facebook Live events. And please subscribe to us wherever you listen. Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Just make sure you're pressing that subscribe button so we can keep moving the show forward. And finally, we're bringing you some fun and interesting stories on Facebook every day of the week. So join us for our Facebook Live at 5, and that's Pacific Standard Time. So tune in. Thanks everyone for following the show. Make sure you're pressing that subscribe and like button and help us grow the show. Thanks everyone.
All right, we're back, Raj. You like the way that Marley gets dressed up in PPE gear to deliver the Mexican food, whether it's Casablanca or Gilbert's?
I love that. Is that the famous Marley Rice that I knew as an athlete one day?
That is the one. And I mean, we both know what happened in that game when she played your boy in a game of one-on-one basketball, but I won't say it here.
Okay.
Hey, Raj, as you mentioned, the winner of the 89th very prestigious Sullivan Award is going to be joining us on the show, and I wanted to keep you around so you could say hello to her. So it's time to bring in the 2015 AAU Beach Player of the Year, the 3-time NCAA champion, the nation's top player. I argue she's the greatest of all time in collegiate ball. I also want to say, again, 89th annual AAU Sullivan Award winner, and the one and only, we went down to Aliso Viejo to pick her up, the one and only Kathryn Plummer. Hi, Kathryn.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Kathryn?
I'm good. Trying to get us out of quarantine for sure.
Oh, how are your mom and dad doing?
They're good. My dad is working from home like most people, and my mom is like working from home, going to work, coming back. She's busy.
Well, tell them I said hi. They're great people. They're great people.
They are for sure.
KP, how did I do on my introduction? Did you like that?
Thought it was pretty good.
Pretty good? Yeah, I know. It was kind of like, it was like a soft roll shot, but I'll pick it up. So Kathryn, I know you've been doing a fair amount of playing overseas, and so while I want to cover a lot of things with you, I want to first check in and just make sure family's good, but also I know it was a little crazy for you getting out of Europe and back over here.
Yeah, so I was in Italy, in northern Italy, in the territory that the virus hit the hardest and the first in Italy. So it was definitely a time that I've never experienced before, and I hope to never experience again. It was just the language barrier was so hard to just get information and know, okay, what do I have to do? Like, when is a good time to leave? When should I be planning on leaving? So it was just kind of a whirlwind of information that I had no idea that was coming. And to have my first pro season be cut short, it was a little bit of a bummer, but I'm glad to be back home with my family. It's always nice to be home.
Of course, and I'm sure they're good to have back. And then you didn't get a chance to walk, get your degree from Stanford. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I was going to walk in June, but unfortunately our official commencement ceremony got canceled. They're still trying to figure out ways that they can make it special for all the graduates. So I don't know if that's regionally or like online graduation. I have no idea, but hopefully we can kind of be honored in a special way.
So does that mean you still graduated, or do you got to go back to like junior college and start all over again or something?
That means I still graduated.
Oh, good. Whew.
I
Okay.
actually graduated in January officially.
Okay, good.
But yeah, my degree is conferred. That's all I know. I just need the diploma to prove it.
So Roger and I have been to the Final Four the last number of years for NCAA Collegiate. So that means we've watched you win, 3 NCAA championships, and we've also watched you take the Sullivan Award home, the AAU Sullivan Award.
Yeah.
That's quite a haul.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I am in. Volleyball is like the biggest part of my life, and so I love to play it, and it's awesome to just kind of be recognized for what I've done.
Well, I'm telling you something you already know, Denny, but she's not only a great athlete, she's a very nice young lady, and she really is. She's just a good kid, and it's from when she was very young, you could tell she had the athletic ability, but Kathryn's one of those kids that just has got the work ethic, that just works so hard, she's not going to be beaten. So I'm very proud of her. I'm really happy for all of her accomplishments, and you're a very nice young lady, Kathryn.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Okay.
Roger has to get back to running the world. So
Yeah.
I wanted to see right. So I wanted to see if you had a question for him before he went, or we can just cast him away and he can get back to running the world of sports.
I got nothing really.
Yeah.
Well, I have it easy compared to her trying to get out of Northern Italy. I feel what I'm doing every day is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Well, Raj, why don't you get back to running any one of the 42 countries programs?
Okay.
Not enough with the shenanigans.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. Kathryn, enjoy the experience here, and hopefully things get back to normal and you go back and play somewhere, either in this country or preferably this country or in Italy.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care.
Right, Raj. Thanks, bud. Kathryn, each year it was so fun to watch the NCAA women's volleyball. And while we have a lot of people that are volleyball fans that are watching the show, there's also a wide range of sports. And one of the, wide range of sports fans, one of the things I always found so fun about the Final Four was the arenas were constantly packed. All the hotels, the bars, the restaurants, everything's packed. There's so many fans there that convene. It's got to be a great feeling when you guys roll in there. It's got to be so exciting.
Yeah, it's really fun. That's kind of the best part about the Final Four, honestly. Like, volleyball is great, but there's so many other things that go along with it that make it way more special. So like all the media attention that we get, having all of our families there, like you said, all the hotels and restaurants and bars being completely full of people, and then like walking into the stadium and seeing over 15,000 people like watching your sport. It's really cool.
Take us behind the scenes a little bit. What's like the typical day? So I know, Thursday is one of your semifinal games, right? And then Friday is that banquet where it's an all-American banquet, and then Saturday. So what does it like a Thursday look like? Like, do you guys do a pre-practice? What's your pre-game routine, pre-meal, that kind of stuff? I'm sure people would be interested in that.
So Wednesday actually is kind of when it all starts. Wednesday is where they do like all the photo shoots and the video that they're going to broadcast on TV. And so that's kind of fun to be pampered and be like feel like you're special, like you're getting your video taken. It's really fun. And then that night is the Final Four banquet. And so all 4 teams come and like have a meal, and there's a big video about every team. It's fun. And then Thursday, it usually starts, if we wake up, have a team breakfast, and then we go to practice at the arena. We get to practice in the arena. And then we come back, have a team lunch, usually watch some more film, and then have a big break. For me, before every game, I have to have a Starbucks. So I find a Starbucks near me and I go find one, either walk or like Uber there, and then go up on the team bus. And it's really fun. So that's a Thursday. And then Friday, the banquet is usually in the earlier morning. So when you're an All-American, you go earlier than the rest of your team. And so everyone meets you there, and it's a fun time. So then the banquet, and then after you have to like kind of switch modes. And if you're playing on Saturday, you have practice right after the banquet, and so you go do that. And then we usually, Stanford at least had like a team meal, like a fancier team meal that kind of got us ready, and a little bit of extra motivation to be like, okay, if you get to Saturday, you have a nice, good meal. And then Saturday, same thing pretty much as Thursday. You have a morning breakfast, practice, team lunch, you scout more, and then there's a longer break. And then Saturday is a little bit more special because you get like a police escort to the stadium. Nice. There, like in a tunnel, like all the fans and family are like, they walk us in and give us high fives, so you feel like a rock star.
That's awesome. One of the documents we're rolling to the right is all of your accomplishments, and I think that's just your freshman year. Eventually, we'll get to your sophomore year. No, I say that about your freshman year because that year, I think it was around a third through the season or something like that. You switched positions, and so I think you moved to the outside, and so you certainly started to pass the ball a lot more, and then it ended up with an NCAA title. Was that a position you'd kind of hoped to play from the start, or did that just fall into place?
Oh no, no. Remember, I played club volleyball, and I was an opposite and a setter. So in the front row, I hit on the left side, or in the front row, I hit, in the back row, I set. And so in rotation 1, I had to hit on the left side, and every time I absolutely dreaded it. And my parents were like, "Oh no, don't setter." And so when I told my family that our team needed me to play outside, and I was like, "Mom and Dad, like, I need to play outside," and they literally laughed. They're like, "You're kidding." Like, no, like I'm serious. And so it was definitely an adjustment, but I've played beach all growing up, and so
Yeah.
I think like that passing component definitely helped me. It's still work in progress, but I would suggest playing beach if you can, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I think that's something that those of us that saw you play beach knew. Everybody else might have been freaking out a little bit, but we were like, she's had plenty of repetitions, and I bet she can do that.
I was still freaking out, but I had some experience under my belt.
Well, was there any differences in like, or what were the key differences in each of the years? Because each year is a little bit different that you make a run to a title, and I suppose each of them are sweet in their own way. But maybe you could tell me a little bit about like, or tell us what was different or unique about each championship.
Yeah, so my freshman year, I don't think any of us expected to get that far. We were very naive, I would say. We just had Inky. She was like our leader. And then it was 4 freshmen that started. Wow. And we didn't really know what was going on. And so we're like, okay, like, we'll just follow you. Like, it's fun. It's all fun. Like, let's just play volleyball. And I think that, like, just passion for volleyball, like, really helped us win that. Because we didn't know what was going on. We're just like, okay, we're just going to play volleyball. Let's do it. And then our sophomore year, that ride, like, we were kind of coasting through Pac-12 preseason. And then we got to the Final Four in the semis, and it didn't go our way, which was a bummer. But I think that was a good season to be like, okay, even though you do well during your conference and during pretty much the majority of the NCAA tournament, like, if you don't have a good game, like, it's not going to go your way.
Right.
And that was definitely a learning experience for the next year. So the next year we came out really hot. We had a tough preseason, and then we went undefeated in Pac-12, and then kind of coasted through the tournament. And then we got to Nebraska, and we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it was a full stadium, and it was all because it was Nebraska versus Stanford, so everyone was wearing red, and so you're like, okay, everyone's cheering for us, and might as well like take it in that way, and like everyone's here cheering for Stanford, and that was kind of our mentality going into it, that if we play our best, well, if we play good volleyball, like, we'll have a good chance of winning, just because like we know we're a good team, we know that we matched well against them, so we're like, okay, let's just play and not worry about it. And then I think this year the path to the final was way different than anyone had expected. So we were rolling through preseason, like, we did really well. We lost 2 games in preseason, but we had a really hard preseason. And then conference comes, and we win our first game and then lose to Washington, and it kind of felt weird. And then I didn't play for 10 games, and so that was just a different experience that no one expected to happen. And then I got back, and for me personally, like, I said it with a bunch of people, but like, you don't really know what you're missing until it's gone. And so like, I think when I came back, my mentality was, oh my gosh, like, volleyball is just so much fun. And like, I think I was putting way too much pressure on it, and like, oh, I had to be perfect. And then when I came back, I just appreciated it more.
Nice.
So definitely my mindset going into it. Like, I love volleyball, and like, why am I taking it so seriously? Like, it's serious. It's like what I like to do, and I want to win, but like, there's no point in not having fun. So that was kind of my mentality going into that.
Tell me a little bit about the difference in play going over, seas and playing pro, international, and NCAA. Like, what are some of the things besides like the travel that you got to get used to?
Yeah, so I think the main difference in international and college is just the girls have been playing for way longer. They have a lot more experience, and pretty much everyone there has been playing for numerous years in that system. So like, the Italian league is a majority of Italians, so like, they know that Italian system, and it's different than American. And so I think that would be the main difference, is just adapting to that, and then having a language barrier, so you have another thing that you have to get through, and then being away from home is challenging. But I think the style of play, like, it's volleyball. The girls serve harder, they hit harder, they're bigger than college, and so that's something they have to get used to. But I think it definitely grows you as a player, and I think I was there for not even 2 months, and I think I got a lot better. So I'm excited to have a full season hopefully soon.
What if you're thinking about the hardest place to play in the Pac-12, what would that have been? And then what was the hardest place to play when you're in the Italian league?
Yeah, so in the Pac-12, I would say probably the Washington schools. So Washington and University of Washington in Seattle, they usually have a pretty full stadium, and they're good fans. And then Washington State is the small gym, and so they get it packed, and it's super loud, and they always play really good at home. So I think honestly Washington State is the toughest, at least in my experience, just because they play well at home, and it's like you feel like the fans are right next to you.
Right.
It's kind of different than every other school in the Pac-12. But, yeah.
And how about over in the Italian League? Was there a particular place?
I would say the toughest place for me would be probably Filatrano. So I think it's north, east.
Is it where Michael Corleone went when he had to, after he shot the police captain, and he had to go over there?
I couldn't tell you, but
that was a Godfather reference. Sorry.
Just the travel there. So when we play in the Italian League, you don't fly anywhere like you do in the United States. You drive everywhere. So the travel was like a 6-hour bus ride through the mountains, and it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. And when we're there, like you don't get to really leave the hotel. Like you don't get to explore places.
Okay.
And so you just kind of are there and do it. And then the gym was pretty similar to like a Washington State. Like it was smaller. There weren't that many people, but it just was like small, compact. Yeah.
You've always been somebody who looks to help others. So before I got a few rapid fire questions for you. Then we're gonna break down some film. But before that, I want you to tell me a little bit about a trivia night you're either hosting or coordinating. That's for a Hunger Not Possible program.
Yeah. So on Friday night at 7 p.m. This is a little bit of a pub for me. 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'm hosting a trivia night. Think bar restaurant trivia on Instagram Live through my Instagram Live, and it will be super fun. Just to get your family and friends together, whether that be like at your own house, through Zoom, through FaceTime, whatever it may be.
Right.
To kind of get people's spirits up and raise money for Hunger Not Impossible, which is an organization that uses text messaging to help people get food from local restaurants. So I think it's a great cause, and I'm really excited for it. It should be a fun night.
What's your Twitter? How would they get to you? What's your Instagram?
Instagram is at Kathryn Plummer, just my name.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I should have thought of that.
Original.
Sports Stories podcast, and then it gets confusing. But wow, that's smart thinking. All right, so I have a few questions for you. You ready?
I'm ready.
What's your favorite shoe? Like, your go-to shoe when you're going out casual, dressed like?
I would say like a little booty, like a black booty.
Okay. Do you have a pet?
I do. I have a yellow lab. Her name is Bella.
Bella. Okay. What's your favorite sports team that you're not on?
I would say the New England Patriots.
Okay. Do you have a nickname growing up? That different that we don't know? I don't even know.
KP, Cat, Plum Dog. My mom called me Sis.
I like Plum Dog. That's good. I like that one. How about favorite board game?
Catan.
Ooh, you got do you do any video games?
No, I am not a video game person. I tried one time with my boyfriend and my friends, and it wasn't good. I played Fortnite. I got ninth, but I was hiding behind a bush the whole time, so I don't really know if that counts. So
maybe, I don't know. That sounds smart.
I'm taking it to the end, but
favorite main dish?
Pasta with pesto and chicken.
Favorite dessert?
Tiramisu.
Ooh. Favorite movie?
Miracle on Ice.
Oh, nice. Okay. Favorite musical group?
Maroon 5.
Okay. Favorite author or book?
My favorite book would probably be either American Sniper or My Life Behind the Spiral by Steve Young.
Okay. Favorite professional athlete?
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Do you have a quote like that you motivates you, or a favorite quote?
from my T Street days back in club, breathe, believe, battle. I kind of live by that one.
Nice.
It kind of goes with volleyball and life.
Yeah, it does. It works. Do you have a go-to TikTok dance move?
Oh no! If I say it, you can't make me do it.
Oh, come on. Everybody does it.
It's like, I don't know what it's called, and I don't really know the dance. It's like the savage one, where it's like, I'm a savage.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I like the version. I like the version where it's, have you seen Tiger King?
Yes.
There's like a version to that that's like based on Tiger King, and it's really funny.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up, and we're gonna put it. We'll put it up. So there's something I do on this show, because this focuses on high school to Olympians, and on this show, in order for, if you're under 8th grade and you want to participate, you send in a video to the show to show what you do for a workout during these quarantine times. So everybody's finding different ways that they can only, work out with their family or something. So I got this submitted, and I wanted you to break it down for me like you're a coach, right? So this is out in the middle of the street, in the South Bay of Los Angeles. And her name's Millie McGee, and she's playing against her mom one-on-one here. She's on camera left side. Pretty slight.
God.
Yeah. She's only 12 years old. She's a 6th grader at Hermosa Valley School. She plays for STVC Club. She's center and oppo. Here she is with her little sister playing against her dad in a little 1-on-2 outside.
You definitely can do more than I was able to do when I was her age. I could not serve a ball over the net. I couldn't hit a ball. All I could do was set and block.
Now here she is. She can be on the outside, right? Look at her come swinging. Look at that.
Look at that approach. Slow to fast.
Not bad, huh?
Pretty good. Better than I was, for sure.
Wow. I wonder if she's better than you right now. No, she's only 12. Probably not. But I thought it would be fun to bring her in right now. So, I got to stretch. Christine says stretch because. We got her. Millie's here. So, hi, Millie.
Hi.
Say hi to Kathryn.
Hi, Millie.
Hi.
How are you?
Kathryn was breaking down your game. She said it's pretty solid, and looked like you're better than her when she was that age. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good. Thanks.
Did you have anything you wanted to ask her?
Oh yeah. Who was your favorite player growing up?
My favorite player was probably Misty May, trainer. Yeah. Just like when you first start playing volleyball, like you're like, oh my gosh, she is so cool. I mean, I'm still like that, but that's for sure.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player growing or now?
I don't know. Probably Carrie Walsh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Not a bad choice.
Millie, I forgot to say that you are a multiple medal winner in AAU beach volleyball as well, Kathryn. So she wins a lot of beach volleyball tournaments and medals there.
Oh, those are your medals behind you?
Oh yeah, those are.
Look at you.
To take you out
Do it.
to show their medal.
Oh, I have an idea. Can you both show us your medals, and I'll disappear for a second because I bet people would like to see that. So put your camera on your medals if you can.
Should I go get them?
You can go get them. Sure, go get them.
I'll get the AAU ones.
Good. Are they all from volleyball?
Yeah, this was from 2019.
Girl.
A few of them. Thanks. A few of them were from 2019.
Let's see. Oh, I have some AAU ones back here.
Fine.
I have AAU ones here.
Yeah.
We're matching.
Yeah. The national one.
Nice.
Legit. You remember getting those, Kathryn, when you were younger?
Oh my goodness, yes. Those were such fun tournaments. I remember those days. It feels like forever ago, though. It wasn't that
Nice.
long.
Millie, that's quite a collection. Did you have anything else you wanted to do? Connect with Kathryn? Well, look how good Millie is when she does like a freeze dance. That's solid. God, we lost her for a second. I bet that was fun. She's like, yeah, I was just hanging with Kathryn. We were sharing medal stories. No doubt. Kathryn, super cool of you to hang out, fill everybody in. What are you going to say? What you got anything to say to the? I saw something on Twitter, and it was you crashing a 12 girls club like Zoom party or whatever they had, and it was such a good shot because it was just on the girl on her bed looking at it, and she freaked out when you crashed the party. That's so fun.
Yeah, that was very fun. That was a fun night. I only could be on the call for a couple minutes, but it was fun to like get questions from them and see their reactions. It was fun. What
you got any suggestions for what these young athletes can do? While they're soloed out and they got to just train on their own.
Something that I did like when I was younger, so not in quarantine. But I watched a lot of YouTube videos of volleyball, like of older people. So people playing in FIVB tournaments, whether beach or indoor, and like I just watched it, and I think that helps people learn. I think it did for me, like men's and women's, because the game is so different.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned things from the men's game that I've taken to my game, and vice versa. So I think watch video, because YouTube is accessible to everyone that has a computer or a phone, and so I think that's something that you guys could easily do.
I know you're a USA national team member. So what's up next for you once everybody's allowed to reconvene and get back to practicing?
Yeah, so if we can get back into the gym this summer, that's the plan. We train in Anaheim, so if we can do that, great. Everyone will be there. I don't know. Tournaments are kind of up in the air right now of whether they'll be at the end of the year, but hopefully that the pro season will still happen next year. Still trying to figure out where I'm going to end up, but hopefully volleyball comes back sooner rather than later. So
I did a long form interview with Coach Karai, the Olympic team coach, and that'll air in multiple weeks on our video podcast. We're going to call it a Karai July. It's clever. Marley came up with that. But I forgot to ask him about his TikTok dance move. I blew it.
I don't know if he might have one, but I don't know.
Yeah. Not sure either. All right, KP, you're the best. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Appreciate you, Kathryn. All right. So don't go anywhere. Lots of entertainment. All right. Here's what we got. We are the show of record of submissions from young entrepreneurial types. So we got, we're going to go back to Venice.
We're going to go to social media first.
Oh, we're going to go social media. Let's take a social media break real quick. Then come back. We have two great things. We're going to debut a couple of films, and we also got entertainment from BoxCobbler Entertainment.
That's true.
Here, I just wanted to come in and tell you about our social media and make sure you're following us. If you want to email the show with any cool or interesting stories, you can email us at info@sportsstoriespodcast.com. Denny's Twitter is @sportsstoriesdl. You can go tweet at him. Our Instagram, you can go find us there. We post daily. It's Sports Stories Podcast. Next is our Facebook. Facebook is where we put our live shows every day. You can go there, facebook.com/sportsstoriespodcast. Next is our YouTube. Make sure you're going and subscribing to our YouTube channels. This is where we house all of our Thursday podcasts as well as all of our Facebook Live events. And please subscribe to us wherever you listen. Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Just make sure you're pressing that subscribe button so we can keep moving the show forward. And finally, we're bringing you some fun and interesting stories on
every
Facebook
day of the week. So join us for our Facebook Live at 5. And that's Pacific Standard Time. So tune in. Thanks everyone for following the show. Make sure you press that subscribe and like button and help us grow the show. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, so tomorrow our podcast drops. We drop them on Thursdays, and this one's a lot of fun. It's Jimmy Lennon Jr., if you recognize the last name. It's the same as mine. That's because he's my cousin. And Jimmy Jr. follows in the footsteps of his father, who was a renowned ring announcer as well. Jimmy's a World Boxing Class Hall of Fame member. So he comes in. It's like a long-form interview of 4 parts. It's going to be great. On the Facebook Live at 5 Friday show, Boom Boom. That's Ray Boom Boom Mancini out of Youngstown, Ohio. He's going to be on the show, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, I had interviewed recently the Lakers studio host for the Laker broadcast, and that's Chris McGee. He has a great background in beach volleyball as well. And that right there, that's Shea Cotton. He is man-child, and he's got a documentary coming out. He's going to kick it around on the Friday show. And of course, we'll have Jimmy Jr. here that will be promoting the podcast that drops tomorrow. Okay, I promised you that we would talk to Alexandra, and her name is Alexandria Haro. We're going to go to her right now because she's got a couple of films to debut. So, hi, Alexandra.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Before we start this interview, I just want to say you sound like a young Mike Wallace.
A young Mike Wallace. That is way better than a current day Mike Wallace. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Alexandra, how old are you?
I'm 9 years old, so I'm going to be 10.
Okay. And you're already, in my view, an accomplished video/filmmaker. I'm interested in your Agent Zero character. Can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with the name Agent Zero?
Long story short, actually. So I was playing at Penmont Park where all the cool kids play, and I shot 4 baskets in a row. Then a random person yells Agent Zero like about 4 to 5 times. Then after the game, I asked my dad, "Did you hear the guy say Agent Zero so many times?" And my dad said, "Yeah, that was me. I said Agent Zero because you shot 4 baskets in a row."
Okay, fair enough. Now, does it have anything to do with Gilbert Arenas, who was a great NBA player?
Yes. Okay, so Gilbert Arenas' original name was Agent Zero. We recently found that out. What I like about Gilbert Arenas is that no one believed him at first, but then later he worked really hard, and then he was like known as one of the greatest basketball players.
No doubt. And I think he used to be number 0 in like Park and Rec League or something.
Yeah.
Sick. So then you came up with these films, which are based on your character of Agent Zero.
Yes.
Okay. So we were just going to show part 2, but we're thinking some of our audience might not have seen part 1. So
we show both.
Yeah, that's what I said. And Christine was like, "Okay, we can do that." So we're going to do that. And then I understand that you're working on part 3, and it's going to be pretty solid. That's what I hear. Yeah. That's word on the street. It's going to be a banger.
It's going to be lit.
Oh, snap. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. When I say goodbye to you, though, it's goodbye because we're going to play parts 1 and 2. And then after that, we have some BoxCobbler Entertainment. So were there any parting words you want to say or any kind of setup for the 2 episodes coming up of Agent Zero?
Just keep a lookout. It's going to be literally on fire.
I'm pumped. Thanks. Man, that's fun stuff. All right, Agent Zero, everybody. Check it out.
Don't look for the zero. Go by many names. Sometimes Alexandria and sometimes Agent Zero. Kobe was 8, then 24. I was 16, cause that's the number in between. Check me, just killed you with my queen. Call me fish or call me kiss, bruh. 我只学中文比你好 Just learn Chinese, got a little richer.
Ooh, it just got real. The cipher just got real.
A 1, a 2, a 3 to the 4th. Agent Zero's at the door. 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you ready for the cipher? It's a Venice disciple. I'm a scholar, I'm a baller. I wish I was 3 feet taller. I'm a lyrical assassin who's always in fashion. Superstar like Serena, just like my favorite actor, John Cena. Nika Budawa. You can't see me. This rhymes for free. The next one won't be. Alexandra's in the house, but Agent Zero's out.
Boom. That just dropped. All right. Look, Roger Goudy runs the world. Got it. Kathryn Plummer, very good. Millie, terrific, but Agent Zero. All right. I hope you enjoyed. Hey, Friday night is going to be lit, as the kids say. Tomorrow's episode that drops on YouTube and our audio services. Please check it out with Jimmy Jr. We'll see you Friday night. As always, we leave you with little BoxCobbler Entertainment. Thanks, everybody, for dropping in.
Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill. Paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some are born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Sports Stories with Denny Lennon. See you next week.
Sports Stories with Denny Lennon is supported by the AAU. Find a local event and join at aausports.org. And remember, you can catch your favorite amateur sports live stream, replays, and highlights at ballertv.com. Sports Stories, along with East Bay, supports the Heroes Movement, a nonprofit that bridges the gap from mental or physical therapy to getting strong again through strength and conditioning workouts. This free service is available for any veteran of the United States Armed Forces. Visit heroesmovementusa.org for more information. Sports Stories, along with thousands of people across the country, also supports the My Stuff Bags Foundation, a nonprofit that provides traumatized children with new belongings and new hope. Learn more at mystuffbags.org. Sports Stories with Denny Lennon is a production of Sports Stories, Inc. and is available on Apple Podcasts and YouTube or wherever you listen and watch. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and give us a review. It really helps spread the word. You can find all our social media links, archives, and other info on our website at sportstoriespodcast.com. Special thanks to the John R. Wooden Course and Wooden's Wisdom. Original music for Sports Stories is courtesy of Lennon Music Productions. Original images by Sienna Lennon Photography. Sports Stories is produced by Marley Rice, edited by Bob McCall, and researched by Teresa Dolan. Additional staff include Christine Jimbo, Jake Downey, Ray Castro, and Buck Magic Lennon. Kick it out, Buck! Yeah, kick it out! Kick it out! Yeah, buddy!